Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Angel, aka the Angelic Muse, and I am back here with another pick a card reading. This one is focusing on love and relationships. Now that could be platonic, or romantic, but I'm assuming that you picked this, so it's probably focused more so as partner. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Um, there are three decks to choose from. You have pile one with this gold feather. You have pile two with this white and gold feather, and then you have pile three with the black and gold feather. Now, before we get into this reading, I just want to make a quick disclaimer because my nails are hit right now. So don't judge me throughout this reading for what you might see. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting them done on Thursday. So in my defense, the 3 weeks is up. Okay. So anyway, timestamps will be down below. You can also find out where to book me for a personal session. I do tarot. I do distance Reiki sessions as well. So you can find those links down below, as well as the links for the decks that I'm using. And timestamps. Thank you all so much for watching, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Your feedback is super important to me, though. Please like, comment, subscribe if this resonates in any way with you. Let me know how I'm doing with you. You know what I mean? Don't be rude in the comments, because I know how some of y'all like to get. I done seen it. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I do it back. Okay? No, but seriously, let me know how I'm doing, anything. Say hi, whatever. Anyway, timestamps down below. Let's get into your reading, y'all. Okay, y'all. So if you chose pile one with the golden feather, here's your reading. So starting out with your tail, you got the Three of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Wands, and the Tower card upright. And then for your oracle, you have the Lover and Hold Your Vision with the Fixed Moon. So it looks like what you need to know here in terms of love and relationships currently is that you, in order to find the most authentic and truest form of love with someone else, you have to first have it with yourself. And I say that because the Knight of Wands is very, the energy that it gives off is just very hasty and just quick moving, and for it to be in between the Three of Swords in reverse and the Tower card, it just gives me the vibe that, or the feeling that you kind of just run away from the harder parts that you have to deal with in terms of love, like your relationships that you have with people. You may avoid confrontation and just find yourself shutting down almost to the point where you can't, or you're not able to fully open up, and you may question, who's really there for me, or will I ever find love, or things like that, of that nature. You may find yourself feeling more isolated, I feel like, where you shouldn't. And it's not necessarily a fault of yours, it doesn't feel like, but it's just something you might want to dig into, just to get to the root of the problem and seeing why it is that you avoid these things, because those parts of relationships are also important, because you're not always going to agree with the people that you love, even though you may be on the same frequency and you may align, and that way, and you may have good times and stuff like that. There may be moments where you argue or don't find yourself seeing eye to eye, and that's normal because you're two totally different people, or not even this doesn't necessarily, I'm not sure, this could go for any type of relationship. You don't necessarily have to be here for a romantic one, but if you are, yes, two people or whatever you get into. But if it's like family too, you just want to make sure that you're always giving your most authentic self, and you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable with the people you care about and love, because they do want to see that side of you. And um if you are, and you just find yourself hitting like a roadblock of some sort, like you open up a little bit and then you just kind of shut down or something like that, challenge yourself to keep going. Like especially if it's someone with you that you trust and love, like if you have to understand and know that they're there for you, and they're not going to necessarily lead you astray, and you have the same intention in mind with them. So you just have to trust more, and give yourself be patient with yourself as well, because not sure why you shut down, or why I'm getting the energy that you shut down or you avoid the confrontation. But you just want to, I feel like life is about challenging yourself and just pushing past the fear of whatever that thought is. Like, I don't want them to see me in this way because I don't want to look weak, or I don't want to argue with them because I don't want to be on their bad side, or whatever the case may be. Those thoughts are that's just your ego talking, honestly. And it's not even bigging you up. It's more so telling you can't do something. And you can. That's the thing. You have the ability, just as much as you have the ability to enjoy the easier times with people, you have the ability to open up and I don't know why the word reflect is coming to my mind, but reflect and just have that conversation or that moment with your person that you truly want to have. Um, because with the Tower card here, it just seems like, and one thing I noticed, okay, with the Three of Swords, it's raining, and then it goes to the Tower card with this big ass bolt of lightning that just knocks everything down. And it's just like, you running away from it because you don't know how to react to it. And you have to be willing to make the mistakes, even if say you are vulnerable and it does backfire or whatever. Then you just know not to be that trusting with that person. You know what I mean? If you had no ill intention or anything in mind, you just know not to be trusting with that person. But the right people are going to be there for you, and they're not going to judge you for it. And it won't matter, good or bad. It won't matter the situation. You'll always have that solid bond. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys Lover. Your Oracle card Lover. That is on page 114 and 115 as well, if those numbers are significant to anyone. It says, love can be felt and expressed in a variety of ways, and the type of love can be anything from a romantic and sexual love for someone to love of family and friends, to a universal and unconditional love that extends outwards to all beings. This archetypal ancestor has a deep well of emotions and sensuality and experiences life in a rich and concentrated fashion. Their feelings are very strong and can go from one extreme to the other, from happy and ecstatic to great pain and grief. The lover is deeply emphatic, feeling someone else's emotions easily and readily. Intimacy is the channel through which the lover expresses their care and adoration. It's an energetic auric closeness with whoever or whatever is present in the field of focus, whether animate or inanimate, human or animal, plant or mineral. That field of focus can stretch as far as the heart energy can extend. The electromagnetic field of the heart has been scientifically measured as 5,000 times stronger than the EMF of the brain. So rather than an intellectualized love, this is an experiential love emanating from the heart of hearts. This is true intimacy. This is true love. Through all the unhealed wounds you've suffered during your time on earth, you've constructed blockages to feeling and expressing love, letting yourself receive love, and loving yourself. Those hurts stung you and left you wary of being intimate with others, and you put up your guard easily, not just to lovers, but to friends and family as well. It's time now to take some risks with expressing your love through word and deed, trusting that you have the resilience to recover even if you experience disappointment. Just as important, oh my goodness, what is going on? Just as important is loving yourself, putting aside self-criticism and taking care of yourself, starting well with your body. Breathe deeply and you will naturally feel a greater awareness of your body and the sensations in your body. These sensations, whether you call them good or bad, are signs that your body is processing whatever it needs to process. You're simply experiencing the movement of life as it expresses itself in and through your physical being. So, going back to this Knight of Wands here, you do not want to run away from the uncomfortable moments that you may experience. You don't want to shut yourself down, especially when it's people that you care and love about, that care and love about you. If you trust them, then you have to trust them with every part of you. That includes the parts of you that you may not even like about yourself. You know, you can't think that, oh, just because I don't like this about me, or I don't like to cry, or I don't like to be intimate in this way. If you don't like it, then, you know, if you truly don't like it, you know, look at into the root of the reason why, because you could genuinely just dislike a specific form of intimacy, and that's fine. But I'm talking about the kind of intimacy where it's like you are stripping down to your core and letting someone that you trust in enough. Why wouldn't you want that? Ask yourself that question. Why don't you like that? You know what I mean? It's so fulfilling and worth it to engage in that way, in that frequency of love, the truest form and frequency of love, to just, without judgment, without hate, without any of that. You can attain that if you just stop running from those parts of you that you think are ugly or undesirable, because they're neither one. So I'm going to read your Moonology Oracle, and that is on page 106. 106. Here we go. And that one says, there are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation, is that something is stuck. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheel so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great, because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. And then it goes on to say, in astrology, there are three quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, immutable. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The fixed signs can be stubborn, so anything that's just starting as you draw this card may well last longer. Remember, we each have all the star signs in our chart. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. So there's no judgment when we say that while it's admirable how much staying power the fixed signs have, they can also be obstinate. So, you could be a fixed sign: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, or you could have it in the chart. Um, but as far as the message goes, I do believe, I mean, it gave you two options, but here I think it's saying to you that if you want to continue to, and not even in a rude way or like a, but what continues just continues. Like that just is what it is. But if you do want to choose to continue to stay closed off to those parts of yourself, then you're only going to get these surface level relationships, or not even surface level relationships, because it may just be a one-sided thing where it's like they want you to, I mean, but then it ultimately does end up being surface level because you won't let them in. You definitely want to self-reflect on this. It's on page 106. So I mean that equates to the number 7, which is the number of introspection and just going deeper with yourself. You could be a life path 7 too. I'm a life path 7, so woo woo. But that is all I have for you in terms of love and relationships advice. You really just want to be sure that you are giving it your all when it comes to your relationships. If in align with the people that are right with for you. If you're open to going to therapy, then for sure I definitely think that that is something to consider, just to open up the gates of communication when it comes to, if you're not comfortable with talking to the people closest to you. I definitely recommend therapy, and that's coming from someone who, before therapy, I was so against it. So I recommend that if you can, or just like self-reflection, just really going deep and asking yourself the questions: why don't I want to go? Why am I afraid of vulnerability? Why am I afraid of getting that close, or why do I want these walls up anymore? What are they doing for me? What purpose do they serve? And if they don't serve a purpose, then I say you knock them down. So, Power One, I thank you for being here with me. Like, comment, and subscribe. If this resonates, please let me know down in the comments. My booking info will be in the links below if you want to book a personal session with me. I do provide tarot and Reiki sessions at a distance. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night, and thank you for watching. Hey, Pal 2. So if you chose the white and gold feather, here is your reading. So for your tarot, you have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Judgment card. And for your ancestor message, you have the Ruler, Leadership, and then your Moonology cards say communication is key, New Moon in Gemini, and you and your loved ones are safe, New Moon in Cancer. So I had to put the Judgment card on top of the others because you would not be able to see it on my camera if I didn't. So that's why it's covering. So, but into your reading, I think that I feel that what you have is currently going is an amazing thing. I feel like you're in a very stable, committed relationship, very much in love, and you want to build a life together, and just all the good things. But with this Judgment card here, it feels like those that where you are now did not come with the easiest route. You may have had hardships. Any good, great relationship that maintains itself does not come easy. And with that, at times you may have thoughts that may reappear and you don't really necessarily have a reason why. Or it may have a reason why at times, and you just, but because you're in this amazing thing, you don't want to maybe bring them up, or maybe you do, and then they start unnecessary arguments or just friction in the relationship. And that's not necessarily to say the relationship goes bad or anything, but it may be cause for concerns you just in your mind. But the thing is that, our minds do things that we don't necessarily want them to all the time, right? So, you know, that comes with that, and in those moments that happens, that's when we in turn have to counter those thoughts that come with a controlled thought. You know what I mean? So say, for example, I'm just gonna say you had a fight with your current partner years ago, and it stuck with you for all these years, and because of something that was said or done in that argument or fight or whatever. And I'm not saying physical or anything like that, just a disagreement that and you just can't get past it for whatever reason, and you've tried to. I think that in those moments, with the type of relationship that you have now, if you brought it in a peaceful manner, if you're not doing this is if you're not, if you brought it in a peaceful manner, instead of keeping it inside, or allowing your emotions to get the best of you in those moments, then you'd see just how stable and strong your relationship is in those moments. Like, I mean, you'll see your partner react in a way that is reassuring, and is very confident, because here's the thing, and this is something that I learned in therapy. you know um, when something happens and we're past it and we feel bad for wanting to bring it up, that is doing ourselves a disservice. Our inner selves, our inner child, our inner being, the past us, in that moment that the fight or argument happened or whatever, that is doing them ourselves a disservice. If you are with someone and you know that they're with you, and then you should be able to bring anything to them. And that is without judgment and without cause for concern that the stability of the relationship will be compromised. So I think that overall, like, just to sum it up, again, what you have is an amazing thing. It's a very stable, committed, and loving relationship that has been experienced some things, and has withstood the test of time in many instances. So you shouldn't allow the past to stop you from just moving forward. Really, don't allow it to talk it out. You know what I mean? Just be open. That's the whole point of the relationship in the first place. That's how it got there in the first place, is by openness and love and genuinity, and I don't know if that's a word, genuineness, but just like true, raw, authentic love. So you have to know that and trust that even when these thoughts or the past comes back around, you are equipped and you have such a stable and loving environment around you that there's nothing that can get in the way of your safety. There's nothing that can compromise the situation. So, let me go ahead and read your ancestor message. That's ruler. It says ruler leadership. And that is on page 132 and 133. It says the ruler, typically the archetype of king or queen, is intimately connected to source and able to receive messages directly from the higher self. Considered ruling by divine right, the ruler can be of the dark or of the light, or some combination of the two. The ruler, who is of the dark, governs their subjects through fear, intimidation, and scapegoating, and severely punishes those who dare oppose them. The ruler, who is of the light, wields their authority with compassion, benevolence, and tolerance, leading by example and providing their subjects with blessings and inspiration. There are many examples throughout history of leaders who inspire others to do their best, as well as examples of autocratic sovereigns who control others through forceful means. The dark side can be a temptation for anyone in a position of leadership, yet the light side inspires and encourages. You have found yourself in a position of leadership, whether with an individual, family, group, community, or organization. You have made sincere attempts to guide, persuade, and inspire those who look to you to provide guidance. Yet those choices you make in this role at times can be met with disapproval and criticism. There are even temptations to manipulate, cajole, and guilt those who follow into complying with your wishes, which risks their resentment and subterfuge. Pay close attention to these temptations, but rather than pretending they aren't there or acting them out, make it a point to be aware of them. As you acknowledge these shadowy aspects and fully accept them as a part of your humanity, release them and allow yourself to move back into the frame of compassion and justice, making choices that are guided by spirit. This is the virtue of truly inspired leadership. So, going back to this judgment card here, and it just ties into the ruler with you just, the thoughts are tricky, and the temptation to entertain them at times can be even trickier, especially considering the circumstances. Because, beautiful relationships have disagreements too. So in those moments, in those times, you just want to be very, very mindful of how you're getting your point across. That's not to say you're doing anything wrong, because again, the ruler is of light and dark. It's just to say you have full control over yourself, how you react and how you respond to these thoughts, to the past, and to your partner or whoever it is that is involved here. Onto your Moonology Oracle cards. You have Communication is Key, New Moon in Gemini. That is on page 46. And it says, a successful relationship usually comes down to one thing: communication. And the New Moon in Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or a neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card could also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Gemini is the sign of communication and socializing, of ideas and travel, and the energy around it and around this card is speedy, gossipy, and flirtatious. The new moon in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Gemini loves to chat. One thing to be aware of is that this card can also indicate being mentally scattered. Daily meditations will help to unscramble crossed wires in your brain. So yeah, going back to, again, those thoughts, you know, get clear on them and make sure that they're coming from the best possible place before you present them. You know, but you really don't have anything to worry about, really. Just if it's a deep concern, of course, get it off your chest. Don't harbor it. But there are those times, going back to the ruler card, where the ego might jump in there a little too much, and we might get a little too happy and start saying things that not happy in a good way, but start saying things that aren't necessarily the nicest, or the most what is the word I'm looking for? Constructive is the word I'm looking for. The most constructive. And then your other oracle card, you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. It says, there's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or a moving house. If you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself and you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. The new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Saying that, the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. It's one of her two home signs, along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. So, going back to what I was saying, you are not, like, you really literally have nothing to worry about. Even those thoughts or whatever from the past, just if you can find a way to let it go, please do, because there is no sense in holding on to the past, really. Now, again, if it's something that's deeply affecting you, yes, for sure, you want to get down to the bottom of that and work on why it keeps popping up, but rest assured that everything that looks good on the outside is good on the inside. Like, you literally have nothing to worry about here. Just make sure that your intentions stay pure and good and lighthearted, as well as your partners, and all will be well. So, pile two, that is all I have for you. I thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if this resonates with you. Let me know down in the comments. All my booking information will be down below as well. You can book me for a tarot or a Reiki distance session as well. And that is all I have. So I hope you have a good day or night. And thank you for watching. Hey y'all, so if you chose pile 3 with the black and gold feather, here is your reading. So for your tarot, you have the Lovers, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Then for your ancestor message, you have the Tree, Balance, and then look at the bigger picture, Full Moon and Sagittarius for your Moonology Oracle card. So, okay, so right off the bat, with all of this alone, with your tarot alone, I just get the feeling of two people in a very solid and beautiful, protected relationship. And, you have made yourselves very vulnerable and opened yourselves up and just gave it your all when it comes to this relationship, and you're willing to. However, I see here with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords, there's two people essentially with the same idea and thought in mind, or same goal in mind, but with two different ways of going about it. Because with the Knight of Cups here, it just seems like I'm more slow going, or not even slow going. You just like you may think more, not even you, but whoever is the more emotional thinker here versus the one that may be more logical at times, or just and it may, I'm not going to say scare you at times, but it may be intimidating a little to the Knight of Cups for this Knight of Swords energy to be there. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you love the person's energy, or they love your energy. It's just that it's different. And but with this tree here and the balance and the look at the bigger picture, I mean, in life in general, two imagine if you were with someone exactly like yourself, you exactly like yourself. I mean, I'm not saying that we are bad people, but on our own, or anything like that. But you kind of look forward to the differences in the relationship. And I don't think here that you don't appreciate these differences or that they don't appreciate yours. But I think that there may be times where it clashes, and it's not you. And the thing is that with these disagreements and these arguments, you have to keep in mind the fact that you both are not the problem. The problem is the problem. So you just have to keep that in mind. Like, know that at the end of the day, say to yourself, like, if it's not going to end the relationship, if it's not that detrimental to the relationship, the communication, you when you get in these disagreements, you know that you've gotten into them before. So try to go about it in a different way. You know what I mean? Look at it. You both should just try to look at it from each other's side more often, because you will essentially learn something new. And oftentimes, you waste so much time just trying to get someone to understand your side, when it's not necessarily the point of it. The point of it is to understand each other. So just give each other that space to allow each other to do that. Because I mean, it seems like with the lovers here, you do that for the most part. It's just those times where you may be like, it's just a difference, and you're trying to find a way to work through it. Let me get into your oracle cards to see if it provides more insight here. Okay, so here with your ancestor message, you have tree balance, and that says, we could not live without trees. These massive elders of the plant kingdom deserve special recognition for all that they give to us and to other beings. We breathe with each other in a balanced exchange, with trees emitting the oxygen necessary to sustaining our lives while breathing in the carbon dioxide that we exhale. It's estimated that 28% of the oxygen in the world is contributed by trees. In addition to producing breathable air, they supply us with timber, fuel, food, shelter, medicine, and beauty. They are a reminder of the symmetry between being rooted in the earth while simultaneously reaching upward for the celestial realm. This ancient ancestor quietly reminds us of the balance between the physical and spiritual realms, one that is continuously adjusting and adapting to environmental circumstances, all while maintaining a core dignity and stature. You're out of balance, something you've been sensing for some time now. You've been either too focused on the mundane and the ordinary at the cost of your spiritual connection, or drifting along attuned to your higher self, but lost in the etheric fog of living a few feet off the ground. If you find that you're too grounded, it's time to start or renew a spiritual discipline, such as regular meditation, which offers the experience of reconnecting with your spiritual self. If you've been feeling flighty, ungrounded, or lacking in a true connection to the Earth Mother, it's important that you get out in nature every day. Regardless of which polarity is true for you, make sure to spend some time with a favorite tree. Look, feel, listen, get acquainted. The tree will communicate with you and help set you on the right track and to return to a place of balance. So yes, that just goes back to these moments where, like, you may feel like if you're the more emotional one, and logically they may be coming at you with something that just doesn't register to you because you're just so wrapped up in the emotional aspect of it. Or if you're the more logical one and you're not seeing the side where where you could maybe ease up a bit on something, or not necessarily ease up, but just be open to a new perspective, or be open to just maybe, yeah, I guess easing up off of it would be the best way to say it. But like I said, going back to this Lover's card, this is a very stable, and it's a very beautiful energy that you both have with each other. It's not a matter of difference is because you have the same goal in mind. It's just a matter of perspective and changing it, or not necessarily changing it, because you can have your perspective and just be open to others as well, and then just see both sides. That's how you essentially see both sides. And then your moonology card, it says full moon in Sagittarius. That is on page 84, and it reads, are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over, I'm not sure how to pronounce this word, it's minutiae, minutiae, can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thoughts you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't exactly have what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. So, based off that oracle card, I'm getting the feeling that you're the more logical one here, but I could be wrong. But the only reason I say that is because it just feels like the card's more directed towards someone who overthinks, and may like nitpick a little bit, and where the emotional one is kind of just like, oh well, I'm sorry, like, or whatever. And it's like, you don't want them to be sorry. You're just like, no, I just don't like it. And it's like, no, not, it's, it's not a, it's not coming from a bad place, and I think that what you both need to find, or what your advice here is to find, is a little balance off that. Maybe you could ease up a little off the minute, I don't know what that word was, oh my goodness, but that word, those details, like the little, sometimes it doesn't matter, especially, think about it, like the bigger picture. Is it going to matter later? Like, can you just do it? Is it really worth saying something? You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, every time, so, yeah, I just think that this energy is, I mean, it's a cute relationship. It's very nice. It doesn't give me I don't mean cute in like a petty type way. I mean, it's like, it's nice, but it's just that you both are in these stages. I mean, they're both knights, and not to say anything about either of you. It's just that, you're learning. It's on that learning process, and in this energy right now, it's just given like, you both have to, like, I mean, the other side of it is on an emotional level. Maybe not saying, don't take everything to heart so much, like, especially with your partner. It's like, okay, say if they say something to you about whatever, and you're like, oh well, you take it as like, oh, I'm a bad person. Not a bad person, but like, I messed up again. Like, no, 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 no. Like, don't do it. Don't go about it in that way, because that'll mess up a good thing. And what you both have is a good thing. It's a great thing. And with a little balance and a little looking at the bigger picture, this definitely has the ability to be, worked through. I mean, it's small things, but it can turn big. After a while, those little things do turn big, and you want to just be mindful of that. But anyway, pile 3. So that's all I have for you today. I thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if this resonates with you. Let me know down in the comments. All of my booking information will be down below as well if you'd like to book a tarot or distance Reiki session with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night.